Welcome to Mymy Cooking Show.
So we are traveling now on a road trip.
To Margaret River again
Yes.
with a few of our close friends.
Yep. And we are very honored to have our very trusted cameraman. Instead of being a cameraman, this time he's going to do a demo for us.
Again, second time that he's been
Correct.
cooking for us. Right?
What are you making?
I'm making beer battered fish today. So
What
I'm
do we
making the
need?
batter first because the batter needs to rest for 30 minutes in the fridge. So I'll make that ahead of time. Now I don't have any exact proportions or measurements of the ingredients, but I'll show you what consistency you're looking for at the end. So it's really easy. It's like as simple as 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
So get your plain flour, dip it into the bowl.
So how much of fish are we cooking for this tip of flour?
It's actually quite a bit
So maybe
because
like
when you see me later cook the fish, I'm actually going to take away a lot of the batter because I don't want the fish to be too heavily battered and too thick.
Is that
So
how you make the batter a little bit more light so it's not too heavy? Okay.
Yes, exactly.
so for this
that's-
amount, it's probably about a kilo at least.
Yeah,
Of
I
fish?
think so.
Okay.
So and we'll reserve some of the flour as well because we need to coat the fish in the flour before we dip it
Okay.
so that the batter will stick. So that's the first step. The second step is getting your beer.
And what
So-
beer would you recommend us using?
I'm not an expert in beer, but for me, lager, ale, that would work for me.
Okay.
And I think
Light
the
beer.
stronger, well, the thing is, I think from my experience, the stronger the beer, the stronger the beer, the stronger the taste is.
Okay.
That will really come out of the fish.
So it's a preference.
Exactly.
Okay.
So just pour it.
Wow, you can see bubbling.
And number 3 is to mix it. So as you can see, it's a bit thick.
A bit lumpy.
Yep. Don't worry, we'll smooth that out. So that should be it.
So
It's like a tempura batter.
Or a
You
little
want
bit like a
something quite light.
pancake batter as well?
Like a
or-
crepe.
Okay, like a
Because you want
crepe
something quite light.
batter. Okay.
And that should be enough. Now because we've actually mixed it quite aggressively, you want the gluten, you've developed the gluten in the flour, so you want to let it rest, which is why we're putting it in the fridge for 30 minutes before we use it.
Do we need any other seasoning?
So that's my base,
Okay.
but obviously you can play around with it, add your own other seasoning if you want. So we have garlic powder today, so I'm just going to add that.
So pretty much whatever you like.
Yes. Well, we're gonna salt the fish towards the end anyway, but then we can add some salt now.
Okay.
And we leave it to be in the fridge for 30 minutes.
So that's it.
Yes. Cheers.
So for now, while we're waiting, we're gonna do a champagne review
Sure.
with our champagne buddy, should we?
Okay.
And then we'll come back to cook the fish.
Let's go have
Okay.
some champagne.
Yay!
Cheers!
Welcome, Amos, to our cooking show.
So this is one of our close friends, Amos, who's coming to join us to drink champagne. He's one of our regular champagne drinking buddies.
Correct.
Thanks for inviting me, guys. I love drinking with you guys.
Cheers. So today we're drinking a grower house champagne, Laherte Freres. This is their extra brut ultra edition. So this is a champagne made from grapes from 8 villages of the Coteau Sud d'Épinay and Vallée de la Marne. And it's grown mostly on limestone and chalky soils. And uniquely, it is 60% Pinot Meunier, which is normally a very minor addition to most blended champagnes, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then 30% Chardonnay and only 10% Pinot Noir. So it is aged in wooden vats, big wooden vats called foudre, and tanks and oak barrels, partially malolactic fermentation, and on lease for 6 months. This one is
Quite low dosage as well.
Quite low dosage, 4.5 grams per liter, which is what we like. And also this was disgorged in 2018. January. So we've already aged it ourselves for
About 3 years.
yes. So what do you think of this wine, guys?
It's a very low dosage. Definitely very good for people who are watching their calories.
Yes, people like me.
And
All of us actually.
So are you familiar with this house?
I only had it once, and then it was pleasant, but I think this one is aged quite well, right? Did you think so?
So often a lot of non-vintage champagnes that we've had, they often do better with a little bit more age, right? So try not to drink everything on release.
If you can. And then, or you can compare
Yeah.
the change over time if you get to cellar them a little bit. So what do you think of this
Well,
particular bottle?
well, like I said, it's aged a little, and then there's a lot of flavor coming out as it's warming up now. Can you? Yeah, it's warm. It's
The color, we think that is a light
very light golden.
gold. And in terms of the nose, I'm getting sweet pastry,
Yes,
and,
a bit of stone fruits, would you
white
say?
stone fruits,
Yes.
Yeah.
and palate wise, what's your thought?
I get a lot of like brioche and all that toast, and then the finishing is a little bit like a toasted nuts and all that. I don't know whether
Okay.
you had it. A
Yeah.
bit fruit forward as well. I
Yeah.
think you mentioned a bit of fruit.
Probably a bit of pear, I think. Not the very ripe kind of pear, but definitely some pear kind of sweetness. I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
And the mousse is
It's quite fine.
fine mousse. And in terms of length, what do we think? I'm pretty happy with the length.
It's just the right amount of length that you need to identify all the
Yeah.
flavors and
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Score?
Amos, normally we give a score. So, this is obviously BB and I. We kind of know with our kind of scoring system.
But
So-
are you having the scoring system that is similar or
My
different?
scoring system is a little bit different.
Okay.
Maybe a
Okay.
lot different from you guys.
Yeah.
but,
You can still give us a score then. But
Okay.
maybe you start. What's your
So,
score?
I think I'm giving this maybe a 93.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's pretty consistent. I'm about 92.
Okay.
that's good.
And what about yours?
You can
Is
use
it
your
out
own
of-
scoring system if you like.
Yes.
Usually I put it out of 5, but then with a little gradual like increment. So anything over 4 would be a really good wine.
Okay.
So this is probably around 4.4.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. This is I really like this.
Okay. Thanks for coming.
Okay, thank you so much for being
Cheers,
part of our
man.
cooking show.
Come again.
So welcome back. So now that the batter has rested for half an hour, so we're ready to cook. So what I've done is I've heated up some oil in this pot. So you need to make sure that the oil that you have is oil that has a high smoking point. So in this case, I'm using a canola oil. And so there's several ways you can actually test whether the oil is ready for cooking. So obviously if you have a thermometer, you can just make sure that it's, for me I usually go with 180 degrees Celsius. Or if you have a wooden spoon, put the wooden spoon in. If you see the bubbles, that would be good. But then the only wooden spoon we have is this, so I can't use this. So what I've done is I've just tested it by dripping some batter into the oil to make sure it's hot enough. So it looks like it's hot enough.
So what fish are we using? We're using sweet lip fish today, right?
Correct. So it's fresh from the local supermarket here in Margaret.
Margaret River.
So what you need to do is, so this is just plain flour. So just coat the fish in the flour and dab off or shake off the excess. Put the fish into the batter.
And
Like
you
I
don't want
said-
it too thick as well?
Oh, like I said, I don't like it too thick. So before I dip it,
Mesmerizing sound.
and just leave it there and wait for about maybe 5 minutes until it actually, once it floats up, then it's ready. Okay, so now that the fish have floated, and this one's a pretty thin piece, so that should be done. And
Nice
just,
and golden brown.
yes, so just make sure you obviously put it onto some paper towel to absorb the excess oil.
Ooh, should we taste a bit?
Yes. Maybe you can have this slice.
Oh, thank you. Ooh, smoking. Mmm. Very crispy.
Mmm.
Very nice.
Delicious.
Thank you. Yum.
Okay. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye!